Hail to legal warriors. In this video, I'm going to cover the 3 biggest fears people have when they walk into a courtroom and how to overcome them. If you're interested in this area of the law, stay tuned. This is the video for you. My name is Attorney Lance Fryrear. I'm a defense attorney in Linwood, Washington. My law firm has been helping save people's lives that are accused of crimes for more than 20 years. And I'm putting out these videos to help educate the public. So now I'm just going to jump right into it. People are so afraid when they go into court for a good reason. If you've never been to a courtroom, you have no idea what's going to happen. And I just came from a court hearing today where my clients were so afraid. And in that case, they had some good reason to be afraid, but luckily they had some good people there protecting them. But I think that really inspired me today to put out a video about what the biggest fears are and how to overcome the 3 biggest fears that I see. I think the first fear that most people have is almost a fear of embarrassment. Everyone's going to be looking at me. I'm so afraid and so ashamed about what it is that I'm in court for, right? I've never been in trouble, and everyone's going to be focused on me, and that's terrified, right? I'm in public, and they're talking about bad things that I did, and is that a fear that really you should be worried about? And from doing this for, more than 30 years, actually, including my time prosecuting, I think the answer is no, you don't need to be worried about that. Everybody in court, think about it, they're feeling like you do, right? The other people that are defendants, they're just as worried about their own case as you are about yours. They don't really care about your case, right? We're all living in our own movie that we star in. And the people in court that are also there for court, they're worried about them. And the people that are in court that are the court professionals, you're just another case. They've seen this all for years, if not decades. And so while it's normal that we feel that the spotlight is on this and the fear of the unknown really makes our heart beat faster, we might sweat, we might not even be able to think straight, that is a natural sort of fight or flight, but it's not truly real, in my opinion, as far as that people are thinking or pointing at you, stuff like that. It's just simply not what I've seen in decades of doing this. There's a rare exception, if someone's been killed and you're accused of 3 murders or something, well, then there might be some press there to watch, but that's really the very rare case. The second biggest fear I see for people, and I said second because it is less common, although it seems more intense, is, am I going to jail that day, right? Am I going to be taken away? Are they going to put me in jail? What's going to happen? And assuming that this is your first court date, it's almost certainly not going to put you in jail on your first court date, because the first court date is typically an arraignment. In arraignment, a prosecutor asks for conditions of release set on somebody who pleads not guilty to a crime. And while they can ask for bail, usually they're not going to get it. If they do get it, usually the court is going to give someone some time to post the bail before they put you in custody, because it's just a big pain in the butt otherwise, right? Haul them away, and then now we've got to book them into jail, and now they go post $5,000 bail and they're out, right? So unless you've really upset the judge, if there is a bail request, usually if you have a decent attorney there, they're going to be able to buy some time for you to not have to be taken away to jail. Now, at pretrial proceedings and all these other cases, it's not really even possible to have you be taken to jail unless there's some notice to you that there's some violation of a condition of release. Like if the judge said, hey, don't consume alcohol, and now there's a report that you had a breath test device on your car, the interlock, that has alcohol, they're typically not going to surprise you with that in court, because they have to give your defense counsel notice so you have a chance to fight about it. So violation of a condition of release is a time you could get taken to jail in court, but typically you're going to have notice of it. Finally, the only other time you could be taken to jail would be when a case is resolved. You get found guilty at a trial, you plead guilty, and usually if you plead guilty, there's not going to be, even if there was jail time agreed, they're still not going to take you away unless it's a mandatory something on certain type of cases that begin with an S, okay, those type of offenses. But you would already know that's going to happen. So I can count on one hand, literally one hand, in 30 years that I've seen someone that I'm involved with taken away to jail unexpectedly. And in every single case, it was because something that the client hadn't told anyone about and that the court knew about, and if we don't know about it, there's not much we can do about it. So I think that is number two. The number two biggest is the fear of going to jail. The third biggest fear I see for people is simply fear of the unknown, not knowing what to expect, not knowing what to do. And that's probably the most legitimately true fear, because how do we know what to do if we've never been through it before? But again, this is a video about overcoming those fears. The way you overcome those fears is, if you have an attorney, you be bold and you ask your attorney what to expect. Because I try to be as transparent as I can. I've done it for so long. My team has done it for so long. We are so focused on the court process that we can forget how little the client knows and how little experience they have, because we know there's nothing to worry about at a certain court hearing, but that doesn't mean you know there's nothing to worry about. If you have an attorney, talk to your attorney. If you don't have an attorney, it's quite possible for you to visit that court ahead of time. When I started out as a defense attorney, I was a prosecutor my first 7 years. I was always in the same court, right? I'm a defense attorney now, and I'm going to all these other courts. I don't know how King County Superior Court does something. 25 years ago, I didn't know. I didn't know how Pierce County does something or all that. So what did I do to overcome my fear of the unknown? I went to court and watched. I got a hold of the court. Hey, what calendars do you have? I went and watched. I educated myself. Happily, you've got the internet now. If you go have a court date, you can definitely find a video on my channel here that's going to give you some idea what to expect. But that unknown, it's a legitimate fear. It's real, but nothing bad is typically going to happen to you in court if you have an attorney with you. And if something bad is going to happen, your attorney is going to let you know what the chances are of that. So how we overcome that fear is to educate yourself by asking the attorney, or even going to court ahead of time. Because let me tell you, it is different. It's not like going to be what you see on TV. And it's way more informal in most cases than you would think. The court is the one place you can be accused of something very serious, and they're never even going to ask for your identification. Can you believe it? You get a summons to go to court. They say, is this your name? You go, yep, trust me, that's my name. They don't ask for ID. They don't take fingerprints except in felony cases. It's pretty out there about how serious court seems, but yet how informally it can happen when you're there. So I hope you found that video useful. If so, please like and please subscribe. More people get to see it. More people get the help they need. More importantly, if you have a criminal matter in Washington State, feel free to reach out to my firm. If we get on board, we'll listen to what happened, we'll identify a way forward, and we will be there for you. Thank you.